Douglas Cooling and Heating, serving the Birmingham area for 38 years. 988-3706. That's Douglas.
Hey, I'm James Spann. This is the afternoon edition of the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Tuesday, the 8th of March, a major spring rain event unfolding for the state already. We have the first flash flood warning in effect for parts of West Alabama. Lamar County under a warning as we do this update. Let's go right to some of the Skycam shots. We'll start with the Trussville Skycam on Chalkville Mountain Road. Light rain beginning to fall there. The rain is much more expansive over northwest Alabama. That's the Haleyville Skycam up in Winston County where a steady rain is falling. And pretty much the same scene from Hamilton up in Marion County. That's the view coming from Hamilton High School. Very impressive trough to the west. In advance of that, we'll have a big old batch of rain and storms across the deep south for the next 36 hours. And temperatures just all over the board. You know, I think we forecast low 60s today. Well, Montgomery's 71, so, they're 10 degrees too warm. And you go to Haleyville and Cullman, they're 15 degrees too cold up there. They've got cold rain falling with mid-40s. Birmingham, 53 at 2 o'clock. And south of Birmingham, you got 60s. Alexander City at 67. And, of course, for severe weather, we can't be in that cool, stable air. You need the air that's down around Montgomery, and remains to be seen if that air can make it this far north. There's the radar at 2:05. Just a good rain event, and some thunder, in fact, to the west. The thunderstorms over Pickens and Lamar counties are elevated. They're not rooted down at the surface, but still a pretty good bit of thunder and lightning there. Heavy rain falling through parts of Tuscaloosa, Fayette, Pickens, Lamar, Marion, Winston, Walker counties. Some rain for the northern part of the Birmingham metro. And that will only be more extensive in coming days. There's the estimated rain so far coming from the Birmingham NextRad. And again, already we've got some rainfall amounts of 2 inches estimated through parts of Pickens and Lamar counties around Reform, Millport, Kennedy, Coalfire, Ethelsville. And of course, everywhere else is pretty light. But again, those numbers will be ramping up considerably in the short term. Look at the watch warning map. Those are flash flood watches all the way from Louisiana through much of Mississippi, almost all of Alabama except the far southeastern tip of the state down around Dothan in the Tallahassee County warning area. Then up into Tennessee and on up the mountains up toward really New York City. And back in the cold air, snow issues from Kansas up toward the Great Lakes, parts of Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan. All right, the severe weather threat. Today there's a moderate risk now for parts of South Mississippi and Louisiana. This will include Jackson and Hattiesburg and then back over toward Lafayette, Louisiana. And surrounding that, the standard slight risk as far north as southern Missouri and as far east as Tuscaloosa and Gulf Shores. And then tomorrow, the standard risk has been pulled north again. This thing's been just meandering back and forth. Now the risk is basically along and south of US 80 or south of a line from Demopolis to Selma to Montgomery to Opelika. It just seems like there will be very little surface-based instability up here, meaning it's mainly going to be a big rain event for North Alabama. There's the first tornado watch of the event for this part of the world. This is until 8 o'clock tonight, and that includes much of Louisiana and parts of Mississippi, and you can see the cellular type stuff developing down through there. We'll be watching that with interest. So far, the instability values are not overly impressive, but they will be coming up with time. In fact, there's a look at the Cape values at, about 2 o'clock. And there is surface-based Cape over Louisiana, none over Mississippi, none over Alabama. But notice 3,000 joules way down there offshore, way south of New Orleans. And again, some of that will be advecting north. In fact, the instability is at 2,000 joules in parts of southwest Louisiana right now. And again, can that get in here tomorrow? I don't think it makes the northern part of the state, but certainly South Alabama could see some issues with severe weather tomorrow. There's the overall QPF chart coming from HPC, and this is suggesting rain amounts of at least 2 inches for much of the state. There's the RPM raw output of accumulated rain for the next 66 hours. And again, widespread rain amounts of over 2 inches for Alabama. Some of the heavier totals over South and West Alabama this time. And there's the excessive rain outlook coming from HPC, and they've got the 5-inch bullseye over South Mississippi and parts of southeast Louisiana. And you can see the moderate and slight risks surrounding that. And again, no doubt we'll have to. Flash flooding is going to be the main concern with this thing, as we'll be watching with great interest. Let's look at modeling here. This is the 12Z GFS valid at noon tomorrow. There's your trough. And there's your surface look at noon. Surface low near Chicago with a band of rain and storms passing through here. We'll check the higher resolution RPM. This is tonight at midnight. The RPM still has the bulk of the rain north of Interstate 59 at midnight tonight, with the really heavy stuff back off to the west. 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, just a soaking heavy rain falling, maybe some thunder in parts of the state. And again, at this point, the better instability will be south of US 80. So any severe weather tomorrow morning early should be over the southern part of Alabama. But as always, when it comes to thunderstorms, what do? Expect the unexpected. We'll have to watch it carefully. Then at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, kind of a line of storms passing south and east of Birmingham. And again, more than likely, the better chance of any severe weather should be south of Demopolis, Selma, Montgomery, Opelika. And then at 3 o'clock, it's all out of here. The storms down there in southeast Alabama. So really, it looks like the main threat of the heavier rain will be basically anytime from now until maybe mid-afternoon tomorrow, with amounts of 2 inches likely. Some spots could see up to 4 inches on the high end. Severe weather, mainly for South Alabama, but again, we'll watch the radars carefully. So a good soaking, but the good news, we'll knock out that rain deficit. Many spots might actually have a little surplus by the time we get to tomorrow night. Thursday, oh boy, look at that cold, deep trough right on top of us. And you know what that means. That day's probably going to be raw, cold, cloudy. Here's a surface chart, and you can see even the chance of a few snow flurries down into the Tennessee Valley in the backwash coming around that surface low approaching Richmond, Virginia. So we'll see that the GFS is showing 55, and that's probably a pipe dream. I say we don't get out of the 40s, and parts of the Tennessee Valley probably won't get out of the 30s, with maybe a few snowflakes on Thursday. And then Friday, the whole thing lifts out. The weather starts to improve. We should, after the possibility of a freeze Friday morning, we'll wind up close to 60, maybe low 60s on Friday. And the weekend still looks great. There's Saturday. The new GFS is showing 71. And Sunday should be just as nice. I'd say both days. We'll say 67 to 70. We'll tweak the numbers as we get closer to the weekend. But whatever. The weekend looks fantastic. Now, again, next week, more questions than answers. And this is spring break week for a lot of people. So just kind of check it out if you're headed out of town. Now, this is Monday at 500 millibars. The main trough energy is to the north of us, but there's a vortex around Monroe, Louisiana. And again, the GFS is suggesting maybe some snow Monday over Illinois, Indiana, and parts of northern Kentucky around the Ohio River. And maybe a few showers down in here Monday afternoon or Monday night. And then Tuesday, that feature is gone. And since we've had decent, run-to-run consistency, we'll probably lean that way in the forecast now. Mention a chance of showers late Monday or Monday night. Tuesday, becoming mostly sunny. There's no cold air behind that. We'll be in the 60s. And we'll check Wednesday of next week, the 16th. And again, things look pretty good there. A southerly flow will probably be up there close to 70. All right, here's Thursday, the 17th. Trough axis beginning to carve out off to the west, and that's suggesting maybe some showers around the 17th or maybe Friday the 18th. So at the moment, next week for this part of Alabama, maybe the better chance of showers Monday night, and then again toward the end of the week. And again, we'll tweak that forecast. I'll tell you now, it's fairly low confidence. And the end of the forecast on March 24th, big trough off the west coast, one over New England, but we're just in between everything. And again, no sign of any super-duper cold air outbreaks over the next couple of weeks, at least on this run. We'll have a couple of mornings, inevitably will be close to freezing like this Friday morning. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes on the blog. The next video here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And if you're local to us, we invite you to watch us on television this evening, ABC 3340 in Birmingham at 5, 6, and 10. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening, and God bless.
Each day, there are new stories to tell about the people who live here and the place we call home.
All of the faces that I see, all of the places close to me, they're all part of all the best things about home.
Sharing Sharing your stories on ABC 3340, Alabama's news leader.